Thanks for joining us this morning. Why do you think that the U.S. is still at the table with Russia? They're trying to revive the Iran nuclear deal. Why are they doing this right now?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, this is absolutely absurd. The United States is continuing to cooperate with Russia on the same side, supposedly, vis-a-vis Iran on the Iran nuclear deal, like nothing happened in Ukraine. And they're trying to, while they're implementing sanctions on Russia, they want to lift all the sanctions from Iran, which is a terrorist state that openly calls for the destruction of Israel, fund the most radical terrorist organizations in the world, including Hezbollah and the Houthis, and destabilizing the whole Middle East. And it's also important to explain that the nuclear agreement would not prevent Iran from getting nukes. It will guarantee it.
Right. Yair, a recent Wall Street Journal op-ed said, quote, and I thought this was interesting, the U.S. and Europe are trying to stop Russia's bloody conquest of Ukraine, but at the same time, they're relying on Russia to help revive the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran. No wonder Russia feels emboldened to call for even more from the West. What do you make of that?
This is exactly true. And think about the whole situation with the conflict in Ukraine, with Russia having nuclear weapons. The Iranian regime is totally different ballgame. They are irrational. Once they will have a nuclear weapon, unlike Russia, they will actually use the nuclear weapon because they're not afraid. They don't have any balance of terror like you had in the Cold War with the Soviet Union. They are irrational regime, fundamentalist regime that want to bring a total war and destruction for bringing back their Messiah, the Mahdi, and they believe in the Islamic resurrection of all Muslims, etc. So they're not afraid of a nuclear war. And this is like giving ISIS or Al-Qaeda a nuclear weapon. This is insane. And also, the Biden administration wants to lift all the sanctions from their oil and gas industry so they can supply oil and gas to Europe instead of supplying American oil and gas to Europe, which you are totally capable of if you want to. And also, the previous Prime Minister Netanyahu tried to build a gas pipeline from Israel that have a massive gas resources and fields.
Yeah, we're tight on time. Let me just interrupt you quickly. Yes. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has talked recently a lot about salvaging this deal. Take a listen, then I want to get your reaction.
With regard to the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, we continue to work to see if we can come back to mutual compliance with Iran on the deal. Russia continues to be engaged in those efforts.
About 30 seconds. Why this shift from one administration to the next? Why right now with the Biden administration?
Well, because I guess the Biden administration don't care that Iran will have nuclear weapon. And this is a big problem and threat for America, not just for Israel, because Iran is building intercontinental missiles capable of carrying nuclear weapon that will be able to reach the eastern coast of the United States.
Okay. Yair Netanyahu, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. Good to see you.